Hello, welcome back to the Open Polkadot Bootcamp. Today we're gonna learn how to boom the Polkadot SDK version when there's a new release of the Polkadot SDK. So let's say your blockchain is at the version 1.0.0 and you want to upgrade it to 1.14.0. What is the tip and the trick, and also what is the process of upgrading the blockchain, upgrading the Polkadot SDK version of your substrate code base. And why this section is very important, because when you work with substrate as a substrate developer, one of the things that you also have to work on is how to upgrade your code base, because the Polkadot SDK is open source and it keep releasing a new version every day. So if you want to keep up with the changes of the Polkadot SDK and also test the new feature of the Polkadot SDK, so you definitely have to update the Polkadot SDK version. Now we go to the documentations. So here is in the guidebook we have the section called Polkadot SDK version. This is from the blog post that I wrote before. So upgrading of a substrate base or blockchain code base can be a daunting task for even the most seasoned engineer. So the challenge doesn't just lie in keeping up with the latest releases of the Polkadot SDK, but also in dealing with the inevitable breaking changes and regressions that occur in substrate underlying libraries, issues that are necessary default of your old code. And because you rely on the upstream Polkadot SDK code base, so it's necessary to keep up with all the changes and how to see and also how to detect the critical changes to your code base. So this guide is designed to serve as a reference for substrate engineer tasked with performing this complex upgrade. And this is drawing on the lessons learned from upgrading the pop node. This is from my professional substrate work from pop network, the code base from the version 1.7 to stable 2407, an A version lib. So this article will walk you through the process and also sharing the tips and tricks to smooth out the upgrade path. So when you click on these two pull requests, you're gonna see one pull request, the upgrade from 1.7 to 1.8 and also from 1.13 to 1.14. It's a very daunting task. It took me nearly a month before we upgrade the Polkadot SDK. So there's a tool that I want to introduce to you guys, is a PSVM. So PSVM is a Polkadot SDK version manager. So this is a very simple tool that manage and update the Polkadot SDK dependency in any cargo tom file. So go back to our Polkadot SDK minimal template. When you look at the cargo tom, this is where all the dependency of our runtime and also our node rely here. And right here you can also see a lot of substrate core, substrate primitive, and also palette defined in this cargo tom. Our task right now is how to upgrade all these dependency at once. Because if you doesn't use any tool like the PSVM, you have to upgrade this dependency one by one, and it's not a very good way in wise approach to solve this problem. So when you use PSVM, because right here I already have the PSVM. So to use the PSVM, you're gonna specify the version. So you're gonna specify the version, and then let's say our current code base is at the version stable to 2407, the latest version of the Polkadot SDK. And my goal here that I want to downgrade it. Not only upgrade, but we can also sometimes downgrade, because let's say if there are any bugs in the latest version of the Polkadot SDK, you might want your blockchain to downgrade instead of keep that version. So it's gonna be, I want to downgrade it to 1.14.0, and then after running the command, waiting for a while, you're gonna see there's another successful message pop up. It's gonna update all the dependency back to 1.14.0. When you look at the changes of Git, you're gonna see these dependency are downgraded. So for example, the SC basic auto-ship already downgraded from 0.44.0 to 0.42.0, and they also order because they also order changes to other package as well. So when you to test if our node still function successfully, we're gonna run cargo check. And when you run cargo check, we already see this code base can be compiled successfully. So that means there's no critical changes to the code base between stable 2407, the latest changes, to the 1.14.0. So we don't have to make any changes. But let's say if you want to downgrade it to the very old version 1.7.0, then you're gonna see there's a huge version boom between the the dependency, and then when you run cargo check, and it definitely gonna like throw a lot of errors because like there's mismatch changes between these two versions. This huge version downgraded already like throw a lot of error due to like there's already like a lot of upgrade along the way from like 1.7.0 with the 1.14, because like there's like 7 to 8 like different version changes, and I think like we don't want that, so maybe like we're gonna like upgrade back to the 1.14.0. There's another tool that I also like would like to introduce to you guys is the Zapter tool. So this Zapter is made by one of the core engineer of the Parity, he's Oliver, and this tool analyze, fix, and format the features in your REST workspace. The thing is like when you upgrade your Polkadot SDK version, there's also like a new features introduced to the grade of the Polkadot SDK. Like the palette can have like new features, or maybe like some primitive grade can also like deliver new features. So using this tool Zapter is gonna automatically analyze and also like fix if there are any like missing features in your code base. So using the tool along the way, like PSVM and Zapter together, like can help you to upgrade your Polkadot SDK code base easily, and also like keep it clean and there isn't missing any features. And as you can already see, like when we try to downgrade or like make a huge version bump, we also like see a lot of mismatch changes along like the two version, because like there's too many version happen and many changes. So here I'm gonna share some steps for the code base upgrade when you want to upgrade your Polkadot SDK version. The first one is going to be like running PSVM to bump the version of Polkadot SDK dependency, similar to what we just did with the Polkadot SDK minimal template. And after this step, in the step 1, we're going to running the PSVM command to bump the version of your code base dependency. Note that this tool only cover dependency under the Polkadot SDK repository. In this code base, you can see like there's a few other dependency like the clap or docsify, futures, future timer, JSON RPC. These one are not like under the Polkadot SDK grade, but like these are like just basically some REST grades. So these are not like upgraded by the PSVM, but only there's some dependency made by that like made for the Polkadot SDK can be upgraded using the tool PSVM. So, but what happens if there is an unexpected conflict in the grade? And you already seen when you try to downgrade to the 1.7.0. So the step 2 would be like check and synchronize with the Polkadot SDK release changelog. So you can find all the release changelog right here in the Polkadot SDK releases. And here like, we can see like Polkadot stable 2412 or also many other versions. So let's say like, if I want to upgrade to the stable 2409, you can select the changelog. How to read the changelog of the Polkadot SDK? So the changelog of the Polkadot SDK gonna separate it into like a few different sections. The first one gonna be the changelog for node dev. Second one will be the changelog for runtime dev. So these are changes relevant to the runtime. All those who rely on the runtime operation team that is using a palette, a DApp that is using a palette. These are people who care about the protocol, WebAssembly, not the Meta protocol client. For the node dev, those who build around the client-side code, alternative client builders, model, those who consume like RPC. These are people who are oblivious to the runtime changes. They only care about the Meta protocol, not the protocol itself. There's also another section for the changelog for the node operator. So these changes are relevant to those who don't write any code and only run the code. And after understanding those categories, we're gonna like find like what is the difference between like two versions. So before we go to that, we're gonna go to like the changelog if there are any like critical changes and it's in our parachains. And there's a lot of pull requests added in this changelog, so you cannot read through them easily. But most of the time, what we're gonna do is like we're gonna run our code base, and we see like if there are any like a conflict and only any error told from the code base, we're gonna like try to solve those errors first and find anything that related to those errors. So for example, if it's told from the runtime or only from any palette, you're gonna go to the section changelog for the runtime dev. You can like consider like go to the node operator. So maybe like there's a new command that you forgot to add, or like any configuration that you forgot to add. And in the blog post, you can also like see like the changelog for the node dev, changelog for the node operator. There is like show you right here, so you don't miss that. And please note that like if there are any critical changes, it's important to carefully evaluate the sections related to the node dev, ensure that the core node functionality such as node handshaking, peer-to-peer networking, and the underlying database are thoroughly reviewed and remain intact. So if you replace your existing node with the Omni node, you will likely will need to make any won't need to make any changes to the node at all. So Omni node is a rate add-on to like the sub-tree parachain code base. So basically, like the Parity team gonna like provide you some set of libraries for the node. Like you have an EVM compatible node, and also like a few other node that is work for. And also like a few other nodes depend on your use case of the parachain, that like you don't have to maintain the node, because like maintaining the node is also a daunting task, and it create a lot of like overhead in your development experience. The changelog for the runtime dev, similar to the session cover changes related to the runtime development, it includes updates such as new palette configurations, added features, or new storage field with palette, or runtime related modification will be addressed here. So it's important to note that like changes to the runtime must be thoroughly reviewed. If anything is incorrect, such as using the wrong data type for a storage field, a runtime migration will be required to fix the issue. This is more complicated than the node case, as you just need to replace the binary of the node if there's something wrong happens. So however, like changes to the runtime layer are usually straightforward, often limited to palette configuration or the runtime API. So as a result, they tend to be easier to review and apply compared to the node level changes, which are more complex. Simply speaking, the runtime changes, you don't have to care much about that, and you only like see like if there are any like changes to the palette and fix the palette, or changes to the configuration of the palette, add the new configurations or remove the deprecated configuration. Most of the time, those are gonna be like the changes that you made to the runtime. The step 3 would be like compare the changes with an existing up-to-date code base. So having an existing sample to compare reduce bugs and recognize changes a lot during this process. So you better find an existing code base that is already updated to the version that you are working on. For example, like in Rogue, we have like the base parachain. This parachain generated from the pop COI, so like it must be carefully reviewed. So as you can see here, like this one is like upgrade the base parachain to the 1.14. So when you click on the file changes, you can also like see like what changes made to the code base to upgrade it from like 1.13 to 1.14. And like in your parachain code base, you just follow the changes made to this base parachain, because this base parachain already like roughly reviewed by the team. Or you can also like go directly to the Polkadot SDK minimal template of Parity, and then like see the version bump between like 1.13 and also like 1.14, and see like if there are needed changes made between the two versions. So one official source is the Polkadot SDK template. You can visit the Polkadot SDK, select the version tag you are working on, go to the template folder. In here, you can find the parachain template and minimal template. View the commit history of this template and compare the changes made between your current version tag with the targeted version tag. So the another good reference is the production-ready parachain code base. So you can find like a lot of parachain code base like the pop node from the Rogue team. So as you can already show you, this is like the PR to upgrade from like 1.7 to 1.14. So it's cover like pretty much like all the changes needed to upgrade from like 1.7 to 1.14, and this is like thoroughly reviewed by the engineers of Rogue. So you can also like go to this pop node and then see like if there are needed changes made to this parachain. Why like the parachain is better than the template, because like the parachain can also like have more interaction with our other palette and more configurations, and it's also like activate like all the features like elastic scaling, is as in backing, not only like some minimal template. So this is like better than like just using the minimal template to compare. And one thing that I also like want to note down, that is the conventional commit. So when you follow the conventional commit, you can also like see, go to the code base of this team, and then like see like they follow the conventional commit so you can easily find like the pull request needed to see. So here like the fix is gonna be like commit of the type fix patches of bug, or like a fit is like commit of the type fit introduces a new feature. Then you also have a chore. So a chore is something that is not like related to the core functionality, just in the minor things. And in like the case of the upgrade to the Polkadot SDK, the version bump is also like considered as a chore. So right here you can see like it's chore upgrade to 1.14.0 or chore upgrade to like 1.9.0. And as you can also see, like for example, below are the close PR pull request from the frequency network, and this follow the pattern chore upgrade. and you can see like draw upgrade 1.9.0 to 1.10.0 or like 1.7.0 to 1.7.1. There's also a few other tricks, like for a large version boom, for example, like from 1.0.0 to like 1.15.0, that would be a very nightmare experience. So you can use a tool like Tansy tool that you can find all the information needed for that version boom. For example, like right here, I have the pull request from Tansy that like update the Polkadot SDK from 1.7.0 to 1.10.0, and you can find like all the important commit gather under this one pull request. For example, like if there are anything related to smart contract, you can like traverse the smart contract level of the Polkadot SDK and find like all the needed changes. Then you can follow these, and then like you see like if it impacts your your Polkadot blockchain, your parachain functionality, or if you do like cross-chain stuff in your Polkadot in your parachain, you can also like see the XCMs and like see if there are any like related changes need to match to the XCM configurations in your parachain. And sometimes during the experience of operating the Polkadot SDK version, you can also like find some odd thing happen in the mismatch patch version after running. So for a detailed context, please take a look at this Stack Exchange post for an issue with upgrading to the 1.13.0. So if you try to upgrade to this version 1.13.0, you're gonna like, even though like you already resolve and follow all the changes met on the Polkadot release and also like file from other parachains, but like your code base still cannot like compile, and these all changes met due to the version due to like the mismatch patch version. So many dependencies need to be updated with the precise flag. So you can do like cargo update and define the dependency name and with the tag like resize with like the specific version. For example, right here in the Stack Exchange, it's gonna show like cargo update Polkadot Node Core PVM common precisely 14.0.0, or like update like other dependency also like with the precise tag, so it doesn't like affected by other dependency, and it will always like keep at this version. And that is all for today's video about like upgrading the Polkadot SDK. And one thing that I also like want to talk about is the Omni node, and I think like the Omni node is very necessary for your experience with working with the Polkadot SDK. And we could be like have another video later in the future to talk about the Omni node and how you can use the Omni node in your blockchain. But maybe like the Omni node would not be covered in this Open Polkadot Bootcamp.